Okay, we will call the meeting to order. And land acknowledgement, where is it? Yeah, there it is. We'll start with the land acknowledgement statement. We acknowledge that the ground on which we live is the traditional territory of Caldwell First Nation, of the Three Fires Confederacy, and the original people of Point Pelee and Pelee Island and its surrounding lands and waters, and that of the Huron-Wendat and Wyandot peoples. We recognize and respect the First Nations who are stewards of the land and waters of Turtle Island and who have embraced this stewardship since time immemorial. We would also like to acknowledge the contributions of other nearby First Nation communities and all original people across Turtle Island. Any disclosures of community interest? No, there being none, can I get an adoption of the minutes from the meeting held January 15th, 2024, and the meeting held March 7th, 2024? Moved and support. All in favor? That carries. We have no presentations and delegations and no reports, so we'll go into item D, information items to be received, which is number 1, Missing Persons Act 2020-23 annual report. Anything to add, Chief?
Good evening, Mayor Malash and members of the board. Just on the Missing Persons Act annual report, it is a required report under the Ontario Regulation 182.19 under the Police Services Act. We must make a report with regards to different elements of missing person investigations. In this particular case, we had 12 different occasions where we used GPS tracking of telecommunications to identify and locate our missing persons. So that has some success in its in some of those investigations, and it's been quite helpful. And it must be reported publicly.
Okay. Members of the board, any questions or comments? Nope. So the recommendation is that the memorandum from Chief Davies dated March 7th, 2024 regarding the LaSalle Police Service Missing Persons Act report for 2023 be received for information. Moved and support by Anita. All in favor? That carries. Item 2 is the 2023 Collection of Identifying Information in Certain Circumstances Annual Report. And I'm assuming it's...
Same as years past. We had none to report. You have to remember, with the lack of sort of a dedicated downtown core, not a lot of that after-hours walking, you don't have a lot of the just stopping and talking interaction between officers. Most of ours is normal interaction that we have on a daily basis. So fortunately for us, we none of the negative impacts of stopping and arbitrarily checking people come our way.
Questions or comments? Nope. Recommendation is that the memorandum for Chief Davies dated March 18th, 2024 regarding LaSalle Police Services 2023 Collection of Identifying Information in Certain Circumstances annual report be received for information. Moved by and support by Mary. All in favor? That carries. 2023 year-end report for use of force.
Just a couple of things to note on this report, and I apologize that the report was released to the board and needed to be adjusted according to some addition on the table that was there. There was 15 incidents where a use of force report was required in 2023. And with 3 firearms being discharged as a result of putting down animals that were struck by motor vehicles. There were 6 occasions where officers drew and pointed their firearms, and that was during effecting different arrests. 2 occasions where the CEW, the conducted energy weapon, was deployed, and 4 occasions in addition to that where it was overtly displayed, which is required a report under that as well, for a total of 6. And then officers had to use physical control to apprehend a particular individual. That totals up to 15 different occasions. And you can also see on that report where there's officers using verbal interaction and de-escalation techniques, obviously in our use of force, and when we're effecting arrests or dealing with any particular individual, our communication skills is our #1 tool. And you can see that we reported at least 12 different interactions where it was able to de-escalate a potentially violent situation and bring it under control. So good to see. Our officers are very well trained. We have 3, I believe, Jason? Yep. 3 different trainers within our police department that Go ahead.
We have 2 full use force instructors and 1 who's certified firearms, C8 and pistol. And we actually have a young officer who's just about to get his facilitating adult police learning course, and he will be attending to get full use force instructor training, which will give us 3 full-time. Our 3rd one is at the police college now.
Any questions or comments? There being none, that the memorandum of Chief Davies dated March 4th, 2024 regarding LaSalle Police Services 2023 year-end report use of force be received for information. Moved by Marie. All in favor? That carries. 2024 Community Charity Golf Tournament and 2023 LaSalle Police Youth Foundation financial statements.
Just a comment on that, the table does explain the disbursements and sponsorships that we've made through our account in relation to the funds received through the Youth Foundation. And you'll note on page 25, I believe it is, it shows a surplus as of the end of 2023 at $21,000. There's since been several other sponsorships that have been awarded for 2024. And we are looking forward to the golf tournament coming up, I believe on September 16th, 2024 as well.
Any questions on those? So the recommendation is that the memorandum for Chief Davies dated March 1st, 2024 regarding the 2024 Community Charity Golf Tournament and the 2023 LaSalle Police Youth Foundation financial statements be received for information. Moved by Councilor Spignolo. Support by Marie. All in favor? That carries. LaSalle Police Services Board 2024 Correspondence Summary Number 2. I don't know if there's anything to add to this. Any questions or comments? So if we can get a motion to receive that as well. Support. All in favor? Fantastic. Crime Stoppers Coordinator and Statisticals Report for January and February of 2024.
Just a comment on page 29, Crime Stoppers did acknowledge the change from their location from the City of Windsor to LaSalle Police Service, and we're certainly glad to have them on board. We consider them certainly valuable partners in our efforts to keep our community safe, and we've extended certainly with them, making them feel welcome within our facility and that. So it's a real pleasure to have them working for us or working with us. So it's an officer from the Windsor Police Service as well as an officer from the OPP, and it's working out very well. We're happy to have them.
Any questions or comments? Okay, so if we can receive the January and February 2024 statistical reports. Dan and Marie, all in favor? And that carries. LaSalle Police Service monthly stats for December 2022 to 23 and January 2023 to 24.
Just a couple of points on this. This shows the comparators between the months at the end of 2022, December, and then January 2023 compared to the following year. I will be preparing, I'm looking at my crime analysis report now and preparing that information, which will be published in the annual report. So far, it looks like we're trending higher in our occurrence reports, our calls for service, and you can see on both pages here that are listing those months particularly, the criminal charges are up. So I don't have the complete analysis done as of yet, but we're looking at some trends that are increasing, and we certainly want to make sure that if there's any identified areas that we address those, and I will be bringing forward a crime analysis report for the board's attention in the near future.
Any questions on the stats that were provided? Right.
I think in previous reports, there was differences in how the stats were collected. Are these 2 years comparable now? They are?
Yeah, pardon me, sorry. Moving forward, we are in the current record management system, so all the stats that we have are apples to apples now, so we don't have to sort of dive too deep into them. They all match.
Did you have a question? Same.
It was similar to the other board members' question, but I noticed that the numbers in December 2022 to December 2023 for all of the report here are, we've decreased in calls. Like it says 718 for total CAD calls. 2023, we were 700. So,
Yes, that would be considered in our world a fairly minor variation on that, but there's ebbs and flows when it comes to calls for service. But as a comparable rate now, we're looking at, last time I looked, it was around 9,800 calls for service, so just under 10,000 calls for service for 2023. And I will, like I say, I will have that report for the board as well.
Any other questions or comments? No? Receive? Move? Support? All in favor? Okay. Kingsville Fire Dispatch stats for January and February 2023 to 2024.
Yeah, the only thing I would note there is the difference in calls between February 23 and February 24, from 60 the previous year to 20, and that's a significant difference. And again, our communicators do manage all those calls, so that obviously was a significant reduction from that previous period that was reported here.
Questions? Nope. So if we can receive the memorandum dated March 4th regarding Kingsville Fire Dispatch. Received. Support. All in favor? And number 9, LaSalle Police Service financial statements draft for December 2023 and January 2024. Anything to add?
Just with respect to the difference there, we're looking at being over budget for the 2023 year. I don't have the final figures in. We're waiting on accounting to finalize all that. But there has been some different expenses related to, as I mentioned earlier, regarding payroll premiums, which we'll be looking into a little further, as well as a difference with our consulting and IT contracts, and we'll be certainly looking to find those efficiencies as well going forward.
Any questions? There being none, a motion to receive. Moved. And support. All in favor? That carries. And LaSalle Police Services Board financial statements for December 2023, which is the draft, in January and February 2024. Any questions on those? None. So if we can have a motion to receive. Moved and support. All in favor? That carries. So questions or statements by board members? All right, the schedule of meetings are listed below, and we will adjourn for today. Thank you.